Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Andre, aka Mr. Vega. Today we have another 1v7 against 7 hard armies. This time we're going no walls. We're playing with Moria against 7 good factions, 7 Gondor. As always, we're playing on the Blue Wizard mod, so let's do this. So the strategy for this one, it's a little bit different when you're playing with the elves. One thing that you have to pay attention to is that, well, you have no armies in the beginning, no hordes. So you do have to buy Golem, but Golem costs 300 resources instead of the regular 150 for the hobbits. So I can't actually buy 2 furnaces or whatever those are called right from the get-go. So I gotta go from 1 resource building, golem, plus the 2 camps outside the base. And when you're playing against evil factions, or as an evil faction, especially if you're playing either Mordor or Moria, you're gonna have to turtle in a little bit differently. You can't really count on your units to like get levels and put upgrades on it, because most of the starter units, they're just not strong enough. And normally you won't have time to build the stronger units. So what you gotta do is just spam. So you're gonna see that I'm just gonna be spamming the goblins. That's all I do to survive, and then I try to bring the armies inside the base. So as I'm killing them with the goblins, I also have the towers around my base shooting at the enemies. And I'm gonna need 2 barracks to do this. 1 is not enough. It is in the beginning. Later on you can destroy the other one, but in the beginning you're gonna need 2 so you can spam your goblins, because as you already know, I'm gonna be heavily spammed here with the Gondor units. And the Gondor units are stronger than my units, so I'm gonna need a lot of them. And I'm gonna need the towers help as well so I can do this efficiently. So here I'm building these resource units from Moria. I don't really remember what they're called, but the goblins do have 2 resource units. So one that looks like more like a mine, and then this one that looks more like a forge, I guess. So the reason I'm building the forge one, so this one with the lava inside, is because it has more hit points. So once it hits level 3, it's harder to destroy. And it gives me bonus costs to upgrades, which doesn't really matter, because I don't really care about that. Because you see how this game plays. It's a little bit different than the way you play with the elves. Similar in some ways, but different in others. But I don't really need or care for the upgrades. I think I'm gonna end up getting it on the end just because I can, but like I don't actually need it. I just buy those just because they're stronger. And now they're slowly starting to make their way in my base. And for you guys that never played the Blue Wizard mod, with the Moria faction, your spellbook, you can actually recruit a Balrog as a hero. So, and that's basically what I'm gonna use to destroy all the other bases. It's just my 1 hero, and then I'm just gonna defend with all the other heroes, and then just a bunch of goblins and stuff like that. So this is my first time doing this with the Moria faction as well, so I wasn't sure how hard or easy it would be to do it with Moria. But it turns out that it's actually quite a bit easier than with the Elven faction. Not so much the turtling in phase, but more once you have enough resources and you have your power points, going out and destroying the other bases, it's easier with Moria. Mostly because you have a Balrog. So, yeah. A Balrog that doesn't despawn. So it's just there all the time. The enemy is on us! I'm honestly quite impressed at this point, because I thought the spam would be a little bit bigger of the Gondor units by this point, but it was quite manageable. I think I just got lucky this time. Is that them? Is that the enemy? I wish there was a way to queue your units without having to actually pay for like having 5 in a row, right? Like kind of the same thing you have in Age of Empires, where you can just queue units and they just keep spawning. As soon as you have resources, they're gonna be built. Because like right now, like I have what 600 dead resources now that I could be using to something else, but I can't because I actually have to have those units spawning all the time, and I don't have the time to pay attention to all of it all the time. So I don't know if that's something that a mod can implement or if that's just something that the game engine needs to have. But that would be a cool little thing to add if it's something that is doable. Like right now, like I shouldn't be fighting the way I am. I should just have brought the goblins inside my base and have them defend. And then now the spam is real. Now you can really see that they're really spamming. Here, yeah, I buy the Borowites, and they're really good. They're actually really strong. They can kill those that whole army without dying. Because to kill them, you need a lot of damage, and the units with no upgrades, they don't have enough damage to kill them. So they're really good. You can even kill heroes with them. The reason I say like you don't have enough damage is because I believe they heal as they hit. So if you don't have, you have to out damage them in the way that you do more damage than what they can heal, and then the units in the beginning, they just can't do that. Yeah, so if you're playing goblins and you're trying to do this, you're probably gonna want to do the same thing that I just did, which is follow the right path of the power points, so you can get the barrel whites, because you're probably gonna need it at some point to defend when they get really spammy. You're gonna need that just to kind of help you out a little bit. The good thing about playing with the evil factions is that you generate power points really quickly. Because you know, you get power points when your units die as well. Oh, and that ability that I'm using there with Golem, he actually has a heal ability for the goblins, which is really good actually. So Golem is actually, if you can level him, like just try to play somewhat safe with him and get some levels on him, he actually helps a decent amount. Like it's not mandatory for sure, but he does help. So if that's something like that you can't control and do, you might as well, right? And he actually has a really strong rampage ability at level 9 or 10, I want to say, where he gains like 600% more damage, 50 more armor, 15 or 25% more attack speed or something like that, so he can actually kill some heroes, which helps once they start bringing in, I don't know, like Boromir, the King of the Dead, and or even Gandalf or anything like that. Golem can actually help you kill them quite effectively. And then Balrog, is that his name? I think it's Balrog, right? He's a strong hero as well. He hits in it, like he has an area of effect. His attack damage is pretty high, and he has ability that gives him 500% more armor, if I'm not mistaken. So he's basically invulnerable for like a few seconds. I think like 10-15 seconds, I want to say, something like that. And yeah, so he's a good hero. He's a good hero to have on the battlefield. He helps a lot, especially with melee units. When they're pushing and they're all cramped up, he can take like 5, 6. I mean, if they're really cramped up, like sometimes whatever's on the radios, he will kill it. So he's pretty good to have. He helps with the spam. And then there's another cheaper hero that you can buy with the Goblin faction, but I don't really like him. I don't really think he's necessary. These two heroes are probably the main heroes that you need, which is Balrog and then whatever the big troll there is called. I don't know his name, but he's really strong as well. He helps dealing with the spam quite a bit. And I already have enough power points to buy the Balrog, and well, you all know how strong the Balrog is, right? So it's pretty. He does start at level 1, so that he doesn't have all his abilities from the get-go, but it's pretty easy to level him up, as you will see in a little bit, as soon as it pops out. Those little mines that I'm putting in the back, it's also part of the spell book, and they're just like regular mines. They're just gonna give you a little bit extra resources on the battlefield. You can have a maximum of 2. So I just placed them in somewhere safe behind my base, and I get the resources that way. And then there's also another ability that I already used that I forgot to mention, which is that ability to spawn a bunch of like treasure on the floor. So then you just go and collect it, and it gives you about 2k. It's pretty much like Devastation for the other evil factions. It's pretty similar. I think it gives you kind of the same amount of money. The only annoying thing when you're playing with either Mordor or Moria is the lack of archers, like to deal with the eagles. So now I'm building some archers. The thing is that they are more expensive, but it's a little bit annoying to deal with the eagles because none of the heroes they have ranged attacks either. Also, getting darkness is a big power spike as well, because even though your units are weak, because you have so many of them, it still helps having the darkness. So it's a little bit easier to defend the base. And I lost my big trolls somewhere there. I didn't even see where. Yeah, but you can see that the other hero, Balrog, he's strong. Like, I can almost leave him by himself without paying attention and he doesn't die. And there are heroes around him there, as you can see. And he's just chilling. Yeah, that ability. See, 600% more damage. Like how much damage it does to the King of the Dead now. That's just Gollum. There you go, Gollum. Yeah, so when you're playing with Moria, you can't forget to keep spamming your units as well, because they die pretty easily, and you just gotta buy them over and over again. And then now to level the Balrog, literally all you do, you just walk. Like, you just walk on top of the units and then they kill it, and he kills it. I think he even kills some of the weak heroes. I think you can walk over like Faramir and Boromir, I think. I could be wrong, but I think you can. There's Gandalf there. I'm pretty sure I don't see him and I just walk. Like, I could have just killed him. Like, he would have given me probably like a couple of levels, but I just didn't see him. I just kept walking and going over the other units. Here I used my buff ability on Bog, but I didn't realize he wasn't close to my units. I thought he was in the middle of them, but he wasn't. So I'm not pushing out right away with the Balrog just because I need levels. I need my wings so I can fly, so I can actually fly inside the base. And I think I'm gonna wait until I get my last power point to go inside the base. And now that I'm thinking about it, I actually don't think you get power points when your units die with goblins, because your spells or the spell book, they don't cost as much power points as the other two Mother factions does. So I'm not 100% sure actually. I would have to pay attention, but I don't like. I'm not too sure now. So there I was considering going inside the base, but I didn't because of like, I can just wait for one more power point and then I can use my Earthquake ability, and it's gonna make it easier for me to destroy the base, especially because I don't have a Flame Breath yet. And from all my games and from my testing, what I found so far is that the Balrog is the strongest hero in the game. Like, stronger than Sauron, stronger than Galadriel. Because you can literally push with just him to destroy the bases, you don't need anything else. I mean, obviously I'm using other spell powers, but like, even if you're playing with Galadriel or Sauron, like, you wouldn't be able to just have them go push in the base and destroy it. You would need some army with you. Not a lot, but you would need at least some army to help you out with it. But the Balrog, you just fly in and just kill everything. And as long as you have your first ability up, I don't remember the name, but the one that buffs your armor and your damage, you won't die and you can kill all the other heroes. Some heroes are strong against you if you don't have that buff up though, so you gotta be careful. So like if you're fighting against Gandalf and you don't have the that ability up, you gotta be careful. And here I'm using the Borrow Whites just to help me clear that area quickly, just so I can buy the base right away, so I don't have to wait for it. That's the reason I use that spell there. And then I do have to heal like between bases because like you do take quite a bit of damage, especially because they have a lot of catapults and a lot of archers and stuff inside their base. And I'm not level 10 yet, so I still don't have a flame breath. It gets easier once you have flame breath. There's a Gandalf behind me. I don't think I saw it again. And I don't think the AI buys the Gandalf the White spell very often, because there's gonna be a bunch of Gandalfs in this game. I don't remember seeing a single one that has Gandalf the White. And for sure they have the spell power. The spell powers to do it, because they've been killing my units like the whole game, right? Like it's not my elven units that don't die. Like the goblins, they die like all the time. Yeah, so the evil faction bases are harder to defend, obviously, just because they don't have the walls. So it's a little bit easier to raid those bases, but it is what it is. Once you actually have everything set up, it gets a bit easier once you have all the towers and stuff. And normally the way these 1v7s work, like they start attacking the base that you build last the most normally. I think they attack, I shouldn't say the most, but I think they attack the closest base first. So because my base is on the bottom left, the only one that would be the closest to me now would be the army right directly above me, and then all the other bases, this is going to be the closest bases to them. So I think that's why they attack this more. And here I have 3 King of the Dead in my base. I tried to use Flame Breath there, but for some reason it just didn't go out, so I was like, oh whatever, I'll just hit them, I guess. And now I'm level 8, so I have Flame Breath, but now my health bar is pretty low, so I think I'm gonna have to wait before I can actually push to the other base and destroy them. And I'm still trying to save this base, because I don't want to rebuy it, so I'm still trying to just kind of get rid of all these armies around here, all the heroes that are here. The most annoying things are the eagles, actually, because I don't have any sort of archers or anything like that. And there goes Gandalf. You should have bought Gandalf the White spell power. I just use Scream there just so I can buy the building without them hitting right away, and then losing the building right away. Even though I don't think he would, because it was just archers, but that was my thought process right there. My troll is almost dying again, I'm not paying attention. I'm just trying to keep this base alive, try to see if I can stabilize a little bit. And I think am I going for the other base? Yeah, I am. But I don't have enough health, I wonder if I'm gonna die there, I don't remember. But you can see that the game is quite a bit quicker if you're playing with Moria compared to the elves. I can push out quite a bit quicker just because you have the Balrog and he's so strong. Yeah, I guess I'm just going for it. Just right in there. And I think the reason I went in right away is because I have like all my cooldowns, so the Earthquake and the Flame Breath. So I think I should be okay there. Because the catapults actually, they deal decent damage. They're only one of the few things that actually do some damage to the Balrog. Most things do not do a lot of damage to the Balrog in the game. Or I might lose him here. Yeah, I think let's see if I can destroy the Citadel first. Oh, that was so close. That was so close, but I was good. And I always think that this base, whenever I walk here, like I just move my camera to the right side, I always think this is the bottom corner base, but it isn't. There's a base still beneath it. And the other thing that I realized is that I actually have the economy with the elves is quite a bit quite a bit better. Because by this point, I think I have more. To be fair, this is pretty early still in the game. I can't rush as fast with the elves, so that might be why. And I'm not using my devastation thingy treasure ability on cooldown either. So I guess that's why. Yeah, so now I just have to wait for a little bit until my Balrog is healed, and then I can push to the next base. And I lost my base that I was trying to save before. Oh well. And now that hero is bugged now, because I don't know why, but I click to buy him, but he doesn't come back, and I don't know why. So Palando, if you're watching the video, I think that guy sometimes bug for some reason. I remember during this game trying to buy him back, and I couldn't, and I don't know why. he was just there. I clicked on him, but then nothing happens. And I was testing this Balrog compared to the summon Balrog, like the PowerPoints Balrog and the one that Sauron can summon, and this one is a little bit weaker. Weaker in the sense that his first ability there, the one that buffs his damage and armor, has a cooldown, while on the other two, like the ones that you summon and has a timer, like the Balrog for PowerPoints, that one doesn't have a cooldown. You can just keep spamming that ability if you want. And that Balrog also does a little bit more damage. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, because I remember hitting the level 3 structures, and I think the other Balrog does more damage as well. He does have less health. He has 4,000, and then this one has 4,300 once you reach level 10. So there's that. Here I thought, oh, almost no damage to Gandalf, and then I remember that he just didn't have, he just had his shield there, his little bubble thing, whatever that's called. Which I thought only Gandalf the White. No, I guess Gandalf the Great would have that as well. He had that when he fought the Balrog, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I just forgot about it. And I think the Balrog that you summon with your power spell is also a little bit bigger, if I'm not mistaken. I think they shrank this one in size a little bit. I think. Could be wrong. But honestly, I've never liked playing with goblins in any of the Battle for Middle-earth games, either BFME 2 or Rise of the Witch King or the Moss. I never liked the goblins, but I do love them here. Mostly because of the Balrog, just because you can use the Balrog as a hero, and I always wanted that. Might be a little bit broken, but I still like it. I'm not gonna complain about it. But even other than that, I actually still like the goblins just because they don't have some annoying things that I always hated about them. I don't like the common mechanics that you have on Battle for Middle-earth 2 with the dwarves and the goblins. I just hate that mechanic. I don't think it should be in this kind of game, in my opinion. Like, it would be fine if it was like a PowerPoint where you can have like one tunnel or something, but I don't like how you can have that many tunnels and be so spammy. And I also didn't like some of their units, and the feel of the bases and everything wasn't just my cup of tea. But what they did here, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I like the trolls that they have. I like the cave trolls. I like the whatever the big trolls are called. And then I love the Balrog, obviously. But then I also love Balg. I think he's a super cool hero. Shelob, I don't really care for it that much. It's whatever. The other goblin hero, I don't care for that much either. But I do like the other big troll hero as well. I think he's cool too. So I actually don't mind this faction. The way they did here, I think it's pretty cool. I actually like the goblins here. And before this iteration of the goblins, I never liked them. They were just not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people do like them. That's the other thing about this mod and Battle for Middle-earth 1 in general. I like all the factions and the way they are portrayed in all of the iterations. I like it better than in Battle for Middle-earth 2. For me, Battle for Middle-earth 2, it's... the factions are too similar. Like, every faction has a cavalry unit, every faction has pikes, every faction has swordsmen, every faction has bow and arrow. Like, they're too similar for me, and I don't like that. I like that here, some factions don't have cavalry, but they have monsters. Some factions don't have pikemen, some factions don't have this or that, you know what I mean? I like the limitations and kind of how that builds the character of the factions. I think it's, for me, it makes more sense. I just like it better that way. Obviously, it's just a personal preference thing, but for me, it works better. And I think a lot of people enjoy Battle for Middle-earth 1 better than Battle for Middle-earth 2. There's definitely some people like one over the other, I would say. Or a lot of people. I'm definitely a Battle for Middle-earth 1 kind of guy. Let's see if I have enough health here. Oh yeah, I should have. They don't have any catapults on the walls in this base, so this one should be alright. This is the one that I had already destroyed, but I haven't bought everything back yet. By the way, there's a better way of using the Flame Breath spell on the base. I'm not using it to its fullest potential. You can destroy one extra building there if you position it properly. Like, you can destroy from where the citadel is, and then the building. You can destroy 5 buildings in total, right? 1, 2, or maybe 6. You know, 6 buildings if you count the citadel. No, 5 buildings. So the citadel, the buildings lot next to the Balrog, and then all the buildings, the 3 buildings that were up on the bottom there. You can destroy all of those with one flame breath if you position it properly, which I didn't. I missed a unit. I missed one of the buildings. But you can. If you guys want to try it out, you actually can do it. And then here I go trying to revive him again, but I can't for whatever reason. And again, just don't forget to buy the bases. Makes your life easier. Money shouldn't be a problem at this time of the game, at this stage of the game. So I just buy everything. Makes it harder for them to retake it, and then I go on to the next one. Now the Balrog has like a good amount of health, and my Earthquake power thingy, Earthquake ability is coming back, so it should be pretty quick. And I know I said it on the other videos that I thought the Balrog was the strongest unit in the game, and then I'm showing you here why I think that right now. Like, I literally just fly in with the Balrog and I destroy bases. I don't need anything else. Why? Well, like with the elves, you have to be a little bit more elaborate. Like, it takes more power points rotations. Like, sometimes you can use all the power points that you have to destroy it, but they're not enough, and then you gotta go again. And sometimes you still gotta bring some units in and stuff like that. And here it is just the Balrog, and that's it. You don't need anything else. And then there you go. So it's so much easier, so much quicker. I'm not complaining, by the way. I do love how the Balrog is strong, but I just think that maybe... I think even Galadriel, I think she's in okay spot power-wise. I would just say Sauron might need some tweaking. I have a Mordor video coming up as well, where I try to use Sauron to do the same thing, but it doesn't work very well. So you guys will see whenever I upload that other video. You guys will have kind of an idea of kind of what I'm talking about. I do think that Sauron needs some adjustments. I mean, maybe I'm being picky. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's just because, you know, he doesn't do exactly what I think he should do in my head, but that doesn't mean that he's wrong, right? It's just not everything has to be the way I want it, right? But also, when you guys see the gameplay of me playing with Sauron, you guys can let me know what you think about him, if you think he's in a good spot or in a bad spot or just in a weird spot. And I don't saying that he's necessarily weak. I don't think he's weak. I just think he's a bit weird to use. Yeah, here I don't use the flame breath properly either. I think I do use it properly on my mortar video, so you guys will see there how to use the flame breath properly if you don't already know. Even then, I still messed up there sometimes, because it is a little bit tricky to position it the right way. Yeah, now the game is pretty stable. It's been stable for a little while, but it's just a matter of going to base one by one, getting rid of them. There's not a... I don't even have to pay attention to my bases for the most part anymore, because I already have more than half of the bases destroyed. So it's a lot easier to just go from here. And there's no ant spam, so like we had it last time on last video, so it's smooth sailing from here. There I'm just using his power ability thingy, power ability, just so he doesn't take as much damage, so I can go to the next base quicker. That's about it. And then for the next base, once the Balrog is healed, I should have Earthquake as well, so it should be pretty quick too. So just by the base, make it harder for them to come and destroy it, and we move on to the next one, guys.
The camp is under attack.
Also, I might have some inside info that there might be a new patch coming to this mod, in case you guys are interested. So probably we're gonna have some new things to test out, some new balance changes and stuff like that. Maybe some new cool stuff. Who knows? As soon as that's out, I'm gonna have a video on it with the whatever changed, whatever is new, and all that kind of good stuff. Maybe the way I play the 1v7s are going to be a little bit different. And we also can, I want to try doing some online matches as well for you guys, so we can see how that goes. So it's easier for me to say this is actually stronger or weaker and needs tuning or doesn't need tuning and all that. Because a lot of what I'm saying is just based on my perspective against playing the AI and kind of how I feel it would play against players, but it doesn't always translate like that, right? So once we test some online matches, we can see if my guesses, predictions were kind of on point, or if it was like completely off. Stuff that I said was weak is actually really strong. Stuff that I said strong is actually absolute garbage, and all that kind of stuff. But that's part of the fun is that, right? You think something's good and you go test it out and it's bad. You think something's horrible, but then you test it and it's actually really good. So it's part of the fun, right? At least for me, I like doing it. That's the reason I do this kind of stuff. I just have fun doing it. I enjoy it. Even though I know sometimes it doesn't sound like it, because my voice is very muted and kind of I sound like I'm grumpy and all that kind of stuff. But I swear I'm not. It's just the way I sound.
Looks like these archers are ready.
And still can't fight that dude for whatever reason. I wonder if it, like, because heroes in this mod, they don't cost command points. I wonder if that one like still has something on the coding or on the script that like is recognizing as needing command points, and that's why I can't buy him back. I don't know, might be that. Because maybe he's using the troll as a troll asset instead of a hero asset, and then he's pulling from as like needing population cost. I don't know how that stuff works. I just know that I can't summon him right now for whatever reason. I don't even know what I'm waiting here on. Right now, I'm just chilling here. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm waiting for. Okay, here we go. To the last base. Look at all those guys there. Can you imagine just chilling there with your buddies? Bow and arrow in hand, and then you see this gigantic flaming sword flaming thing coming at you. Jesus Christ, man. That would be terrifying. Can you imagine having that thing flying at you like that? I was just waiting for Flame Breath. That's what I was waiting for. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't think on this game I used his Flame Breath properly once. Yeah, I think on the other Balrog, the Flame Breath always destroys the units, the buildings, regardless if they are level 3 or not, I think. Could be wrong, but I think the other Balrog does a little bit more damage than this one. And I know that his empowered ability, like armor damage, has no cooldown there. You can just spam if you want. You don't have to, but I mean you can. But this one actually has like just a proper regular cooldown, which I don't even know if it's intended as well on the other one, but that's how it is. The Balrog is just so tanky, man. Look at that. Look at all those guys shooting at him, and his health bar doesn't even move. So there's the catapult, flaming arrows, regular arrows. I think Faramir is somewhere in there shooting at him as well. No damage. And I didn't even have that thing up with the 50% extra armor, so it's gonna be even tankier now. Look at that dude, man. He's so cool. Is he my favorite unit in the game? He might be my favorite unit in the game, the Balrog. Let me think. Is there a unit that I like better? I'm not sure. And there you have it, guys. That was it. It was actually a lot quicker than I thought it would be. A lot easier. That was my first time doing that with the goblins, with Moria. So, boom. There you go. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing, and I catch you on the next one.